All right, guys. So we're going to finish on with some foreground, and I put just a little bit of color in here. I wanted to reflect a little bit of this color in the sky. So put just a little bit of that color in there. We can always darken it up if we want to, or lighten it up, whatever we want to do. I think that looks pretty good. Just reflect some of that color that's in the sky. And what I wanted to do was put just a little bit of, maybe a little bit of pond, or a little bit of land down here, kind of make it look like a recessed part back in the lake. Maybe just on this side right here. So what we're going to do is we'll take our just dirty old brush that we use, black, some Van Dyke brown, and we're going to put a row of trees in here. Now these trees up front, we'll really try to highlight those and get them to looking really good. So we're just going to sock it in there. So just a little bit of land right here. I think that looks pretty good for the land right there, and we'll just make this some bushes and some twigs or whatever we need to do. So we're going to take a brush we had some yellow on and dip it just a little bit in liquid white. Those are our yellows, some green, a little bit of yellow ochre. We're going to see if what we put on there sticks. So, not looking too bad. I think we need a little bit more liquid white, a little bit more paint. I do like the stretch canvas is better when you're putting on highlights. It's not so stiff when you touch. You can do it this way, but I think the stretch canvas is just that little bit of give that they have. I think makes a difference when you're putting on highlights. So once in a while, change your flavor. And as Bob always says, just do one bush at a time. So that's what we're going to do. If you think you're not sticking enough, get you some more liquid white. You're on the final stages of your trees. There won't be any more paint going over top of these. So get it dark, get it where it's going to stick on there very well. Kind of like that. To me, it looks like this right here needs a separation. It needs between this bush and that bush. So we're going to lighten this up a little bit. We either got to lighten this up or darken it. I think since it's in the front, we need to really lighten it up. So we're going to see. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So that really lightened that bush up. Makes it lighter than those in the background. So I like that. Looking pretty good. Go back into some green. Get some green back in here. A lot of bushes. A lot of bushes on this lake. There's a big old fish right back in there just waiting for somebody to catch it. A little bit more liquid white maybe. If you think you got too much paint on your brush, you can always clean it, or you can wipe it off. You want a lot of paint on there, but you want the bristles to be separated just a little bit. You don't want it gobbed on there so much that it's, when you touch the canvas, that the leaves and the limbs don't break. So you want it just a little bit separated. Kind of like that. That's kind of what we're looking for right here. Now I like to, I like a lot of contrast. So right here, there's going to be a little fireball. Little orange fireball sticking right there. That goes well with these kind of yellow, orange ones back here, the red right there. I like that. I think that looks good. Phone's ringing. Probably not for me. I'm not going to answer it anyway. Now, I like the bushes and I like the trees. We need a little something extra in there. So what we're going to do is, I like to put rocks in there. I like rocks. So maybe the phone quit ringing. So we're just going to take a little bit of black, and look to me like right here is a good place for a rock. And we'll just make a little bit of place for a rock right there. And what we'll do is we'll take just a little bit of brown, a little bit of white for highlight, paints marble pretty well, but I do think that this is going to be darker because this is a silhouette. I want it to stand out, but I don't want it to be so bright that it looks like it's out of place. You can always change the flavor of it if you got it too dark. You want to be careful. You can always just go back in and just barely touch. A little bit on top of it. And if you even want to, you can go back in, put some light over top of it as well. I hope everybody can see that. I wanted to make it brighter so everybody can see it really well. And then we need to set that thing down in there a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a little bit of that same color we had on the brush, our highlight brush, a little bit of green, and just kind of barely touch it and just make it look like some paint's right there. There's some little leaves and little sticks and stuff right there beside it. And I think that looks pretty good. Another thing you can do is you can always take the fan brush and just put a little bit in it, beside it, whatever. Another thing I like to do is draw a little bit of a few sticks here and there. Make it look like there's some sticks sticking up. So we're just going to take a little bit of thinner into a little bit of brown and black. And you want it thin. You want it thin enough, but you don't want it so thin it's just thinner. You got to have a little bit of paint in it. So we'll just draw a little stick right here. I like to use, if I can, the smallest liner brush I can use. I know some of you might use the number 2 liner brush. Sometimes it's hard for me to get it small enough to make little branches. So that's why I like to use the smallest liner that I can find. I want to break the silhouette of this green right here so it shows up. A few little branches like that. Now normally you would say, well, can't you just scratch some in? You can, but they won't show up very well because this is a black canvas. So the white's not underneath. I did paint it with black gesso first. So if you put a little bit of a few sticks and stuff, see, it doesn't really show up. So what you're doing, instead of scratching through the white, you can paint the white in there, or just a light color. Just a few little twigs right there, just to and do this in the dark areas. Kind of breaks it up a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. And maybe one right here. You could even use the same color out here, it doesn't matter. You can make these a little lighter if you want to. But I think that looks pretty good. And I think I'm gonna fix that line right there. I think you can absolutely piddle a painting to death. I could try to redo this, put in more, make it look good, but I think when you got a good stopping point, I think it's that you need to stop right there and just go with what you got. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna sign it. Just gonna use a little bit of red, or I got Lizard Crimson today, I didn't have any red out. So just a little bit of red. And I'll sign my painting somewhere in here. With just my initials. Like everybody ought to have a unique style of signatures. Some people's names are easier to write than others. Some people have less letters and more letters. But I think that's good. I think we're going to stop that. So, guys, just a little bit to show you what happens. And I know somebody would probably say, oh, is he not going to take the contact paper off? Let's just go ahead and do that right now. See what it looks like. And there we have it. West Virginia proud. Looks pretty good. Now what I'll do here in the corners, because West Virginia is such an odd shaped state, I got some stencils made out, put West here and Virginia here, or maybe a few other things. You know, you could do just the WV symbol, put something else up there, just something else to break up these great big areas right here. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good, and we're going to call it good. So thanks, guys, for your attention and your time, and happy painting.